Well, as the show continues on now, we are at Smokin' Moe's to have a nice little Shelton High School football recap with Coach Smith and quarterbacks coach Andy Conklin. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good to see you guys. Andy, as well, has been a big sponsor of the Coach's Corner all season long with the Conklin team. Thank you for that.
Yeah, happy to do it.
So we're just kind of talking about the season here at Smokin' Moe's because, they have got a Highclimber Burger that goes to help support the boosters. So we figured we might as well recap the season and have some food. Right?
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Right.
It sounds, yes.
So first things first, let's just kind of talk about how it was. This was your first full season back in Shelton, and I mean, what were you thinking after the end of this last weird fall-spring season moving into now?
Well, the biggest thing I was thinking was it was good that we got to play in meaningful games at the end of the year. We weren't just playing a schedule out. The kids got to feel intensity and pressure, and we got to play in those meaningful games that are going to serve us well in the future. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it didn't end up the way we wanted it to end up, but, I think that kind of puts a little bit of a bad taste in our mouth and inspires us in the offseason here to work and focus and get better, and work on our craft so we don't have the same taste in our mouth next year.
That was a weird playoff scenario with that Kansas thing.
Yeah, you never know how to prepare for those kinds of things. You know what you got, and you kind of know what the other squad has. But man, one mistake, and you're watching from the sideline from then on out.
Yeah.
It's a tough little problem.
Again, Andy, we talked at the beginning of the season about your time with the Highclimbers, and you've been around Shelton football for a very long time.
Yep.
Give me some of the highs and lows from over the seasons, just being a coach, playing, being involved, and just being around. What's it mean to be a Highclimber?
The thing that it means to me is just it's prideful, right? I mean, I was fortunate to be a product of Coach Stark, like a lot of us around, and Coach really instilled a lot of things in us, and being resilient and able to handle adverse situations and all that stuff, and how it's propelled me through my life has been really, really, really great, and we for a long time I was involved at different levels. I mean, I started scouting for Coach Stark right out of high school, and then he retired, and Coach Hinkle came on and he did a great job, and it just felt like it was slipping, like it was slipping away, and we started making some effort to change the ship, and we're fortunate enough to get Coach Smith to come back home, and couldn't ask for a better guy. I mean, he's not only is he a great coach, but he's just a great guy. Right?
It's been fun to get to know him. So you were under Coach Stark. You played under Coach Stark, right? Rod, who's filming this, played under Coach Stark. The folks that have played under Coach Stark that are contributing greatly to our community, it's amazing.
75% of my staff played for Coach Stark. The mantra of once a climber, always a climber rings very loud still today. And, Coach Hoff, Coach Wielander, Coach Conklin, myself, Coach Speaks, a lot of guys there that have climber ties back to Coach Stark. And one of the reasons why I ever got into coaching was because of Coach Stark.
That's awesome. So I've been in 2 lunch meetings at restaurants in town, and he's come in, and without fail, both times that I've noticed him come, the whole place kind of stops, and they go, "There's Coach Stark."
Yeah.
I mean, to this day, it's amazing.
Well, he has the only 2 state football championships in Shelton High School.
Well, so
growth mindset, Coach.
Yeah,
growth mindset. So far, right?
So far, yes.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing. That's one of my next kind of goals is to sit down with him for a while like this and just talk with him. It's pretty cool. Oh my gosh! So here we see these Highclimber burgers. Did you come up with this?
It was a creation. Tom and I got together one day, and I said, "Hey, I got an idea for a burger."
Yeah.
He goes, all right, talk to me. And he made it come to life.
All right, Tom. So talk to me a little bit about this burger here.
This is a burger that is all of Coach Smith's creation here. I think we made one modification. I think he requested pepper jack. We don't have pepper jack, so we used provolone cheese, but then we also use our homemade pepperberry jam. So it's a mixed berry jam we make with our smoked and pickled jalapenos.
But that's not all, right? There's peanut butter in here, and there's
Yes.
bacon.
Peanut butter, bacon, provolone cheese, pepperberry jam, hand-pressed burger patty, brioche bun.
That's
Dynamite.
awesome. It is awesome. When you come here to Smoke and Moe's and you order one of these, money goes back to help the boosters, and it's a great help. You guys have been able to support the Highclimbers all year long.
Yeah, a couple different meals, and I think we've got another one on the way. But yeah, $5 of each one. We just stash it away in a little account, and then whatever they need from us, we'll put together a team meal or support where we can.
That's awesome. And again, Smoke and Moe's does so much for the community as well. So we're going to pause for a second on this, eat some of this, and we'll come back and talk more football. All right, so we had planned to talk and eat while we were enjoying these burgers, but they were just so good that we wolfed them down.
We did.
Where did you come up with this?
Well, I would like to say it was all my idea, but there's a place called the Wilderness down in Arizona,
Okay.
and they had a version of this, but I'm going to say that Smoke and Moe's outkicked that version with their own homemade jalapeno berry jelly.
It was, it's got bacon, and there's peanut butter, and there's jam and jelly on there, plus the burger and the cheese. It was awesome.
Yeah. I remember the first time Coach was telling me about this burger, and I was looking at him like he's out of his mind, right? And there's too much going on there, Coach. That burger's not going to be any good, but holy cow, it's so good.
That's awesome. All right, let's talk a little bit more about the season. Give me some of the big plays that you remember, some of the standout players you got, either of you, a play on a game that you go, man, our high climbers really outperformed the other team.
Well, right off the top of my head, when we talk about performances, I thought when we traveled up north to Highline, that was a team that had been scoring a lot of points. I think they were the second highest scoring team in the state. And we went up there and played very, very well in all three aspects of the game. We returned a punt for a touchdown in that game. We got a couple interceptions on defense. Offensively, we controlled the football. And I thought that was probably our best performance of the year against a quality team who actually made the playoffs at 9-1. And so I think that was probably the highlight. Unfortunately, we came back from that game and we played a really good game against Black Hills. So we thought we were playing our best football at the end of the year, and then it did not translate into the last game of the season against Aberdeen, where we struggled. But I think that was probably that 2-game stretch was probably our best performances of the year.
Andy, what about you? Got one for me?
It was just like Coach said earlier. It was fun to be playing meaningful games at the end of the season. It's that everything starts elevating. You start ramping up, and it's time to really start playing football. And it's like what I said to the kids. We had our end of the season meeting with the kids a couple of days after we were out of that tiebreaker game, and experience is what you get the moment after you need it, right? And so they got to feel what that's like to ramp up, and it's something that they're going to be able to build on and draw back on that now and say, okay, I remember this situation, and this is what we did that didn't work out, so let's build on that and start moving towards what works out well. So
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
So next season, what are we looking like here? How many returning kids do you have, and what's the makeup going to be?
Yeah, we got good makeup. Obviously we return a quarterback, we return a running back, we return 4 out of 5 offensive linemen, and 2 receivers on the offensive side of the ball. So that's a good. When you get your quarterback and your offensive line back and your running back, it's a really good start, right? And then you add receivers into that. It's a good nucleus to start with offensively. On defense, we return 2 out of 3 defensive linemen, 2 out of 3 linebackers, and 4 out of 5 defensive backs. So that's really good. And then we got our kicker back for a second year. And so, the future looks very, very bright. A lot of guys that have Friday night light experience. A lot of guys that have been playing for 2 or 3 years now for us. They'll be going into their 3rd year, most of them. And so, in a good senior class with about 17 kids, it should provide a lot of good senior leadership.
You're going to be able to watch the games at Highclimber Stadium on Jack Stark Field, Friday Night Lights. If you also can watch them on Mason Web TV. And it's just an exciting time for Highclimber football. We are filming this a week before the Apple Cup. So what's going to happen on Apple Cup Friday? Andy?
Well, Coach Smith and I are going to the game, so we'll know firsthand what's going on. There's so much uncertainty with both programs right now. It's a toss-up. I'm going to punt and not answer the question.
I'm sure.
Well, it's kind of crazy to think about that you have 2 Power 5 college football teams that are both without their head football coaches when they started the season. And then you got another team in Eastern Washington that had the highest scoring team in the state or in the nation in FCS football, and they fired Ian Shoemaker basically out of Eastern. And so you got people just grappling at what is college football in the state of Washington right now.
Right.
And so I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to go with my purple in my veins a little bit, besides the red in my veins. The red is really in my veins, and I'm going to go with the Dogs.
Very cool, very cool. Well, we'll find out what happens a week from today. I want to thank Smoke and Mo's Tom and Mo here for having us this evening to talk a little bit about Highclimber football. Enjoy the Highclimber Burger. Again, when you come down here and order it, $5 goes back to help out the boosters, and that does go a long way to help the Highclimber program as they move into the next year. Also want to thank Andy and the Conklin team for supporting the Coach's Corner all season long, and the access that you've given us to Coach Smith. It's really been fun to talk with you guys and follow along with Highclimber football. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. It's been nice having you guys spark interest in the community and letting us give it the opportunity to put this stuff out there, and we really appreciate it.
Very cool.
And I would echo that. I appreciate KMAS and you guys and what you guys do for the community and the support that you have shown towards Highclimber football and all the sports in the community and what it means to us. So appreciate you guys.
Thank you guys. Come on down, Smoke and Mo's, grab a Highclimber Burger. They are delicious.
Yes, they are.